day, friends. Good day, humans. I hope this day finds you well, finds you in peace with whatever is happening around, or whatever you think is happening around. Most of the humanity have no clue. It was so covered under the veil of the dark aliens who completely disseminated our awareness. They suppressed us until the point when you decide to say it's enough. Today's story again leading towards legal system, judges in particular, with the title When Self-Judgment Becomes Compromised? Question mark. Meaning, who these judges think they are, who these advocates think they are, who these lawyers think they can make a dark word magic over and above every single being here on planet, enticing them to become just a non-existent entity who is obliged to pay the dues, to pay the taxes, to follow their rules and especially their judgments. I'll make a point right at the beginning of this little story. Ones who have no self-judgment, they cannot be a judge to another. So based on this little statement, there's nothing that others can do to you than tell you this is wrong, this is right, you have to go in jail that long, you have to pay the penalty for that and for so and so, until they figure out what they are doing to another. There's nothing they say, let's say these legal entities or whatever, legal creatures, they're pretending they're here for benefit you and your morality and so on. They cannot say these words. They just took it over, pretentiously took it over, a right that they can judge you. The only ones they can judge is themselves. But they don't do this. This is the title related to. They've been compromised in self-judgment by pretending very, very arrogantly that they can judge everybody else. When a lawyer gives you a bill for the work that it's absolutely ludicrous, stupendously, waste of your time and your money, they're actually doing a judgment felony based on universal law, because they're judging you there, they putting you in a position of subservient servant, let's say, or slave, who has to pay for their judgment, so-called a good judgment acts or good judgment work they've done. And they've done against Prime Creator's will. So they took the right in their hands to play a god above your little minor problem that you have. Doesn't matter. It can be a speeding ticket, and it can be a murder, and it can be a commercial theft or anything else. Not really disclosing in full what they are actually doing. These are the ones who are actually thieves. These are the ones who are killers of your judgment. They are destroyers of your self-judgmental energy that every one of us was given to exercise, to practice on the daily basis. But why we so ignorantly just pouring our energy into these entities. And it cannot be only a judgment when you reach the court. You judge as soon as you're born by putting you, a strawman identity, over and above your real existence. And once when you get it, you will raise your voice to say, I don't want to be judged by any of you guys. Because Crime Creator doesn't judge any of us. Whatsoever, even if you did the most heinous crimes against humanity, you'll be deleted. There's no judgment in this action. Because the final straw was drawn. There's no more negotiations with alien species of any fucking kind. And most of the legal department on this planet, most of the governmental department, they were alien species infiltrated deeply, if not just shape-shifting into the human look, so we not totally freak out and recognize them instantly. So I can talk about this, what these guys are doing wrong. Pretty much everything. But question to you is, what you will do about it? What you will do about your own free will, don't allowing anybody else judge you. Don't go into any fucking courtrooms. Don't go to any fucking lawyer, advocate offices, ever. Not only they'll take your money, or they will put you in a very, very diminutive position, but they will attach to you 1,000 entities, programs, implants, and so on, because this is what they are good at, what they were good at. Not anymore, because many of us are talking. Many of us are exposing, including the Black Law Dictionary, which even in the name it says they're doing the black law magic. And they are proud of it. Nobody actually questioned why they could change it. They could change it in a violet law dictionary. When you realize that as a human, you don't need any laws to govern you. The only law is self-judgment. The only law is self-governance. Self-governance. The only law is self-morality. Meaning that when you figure out what is moral for you, period, there's nothing else you can do, or you can say, or you can convince anybody else that they should do different so you will remain moral. No. Your morality is shown through your actions. Your self-judgments are shown through your actions. Your self-integrity is shown through your actions, not through the dirty words, not through the magic of the word or symbol or a sign. This is what the legal department, since thousands of years ago, implemented on all of us, until some of us start waking up. So you can ask, why all this crap Predrag is talking on and on and on? What's the reason for it? Honestly, because I have ability. Second, I know all this stuff will eventually hit a nerve in your humanity. Eventually. Not many. Now basically, when you realize that people have to listen to Trump because he is a president, you cannot ignore him anymore. When he says fake media, now this is a real truth because presidents say so. So Just watch it. Watch day after day, the changes will become fully into the open. And this was the biggest trick of the dark magic of the law, or dark legal magic, was to hide a real meaning of why media is here, why we having thousands of acts or legal regulations in just United States, Canada, Britain, EU now. You think they will stop Le Pen by putting a ban on her because she cannot put in the quotes obscene pictures? They are very disturbing to others. The way how she addressed Merkel, if on the last meeting in EU. Yeah, find this. It will not change it, because Trump won, Brexit happened, EU exit is happening in your face. You wish it or not, you don't even understand why you don't want this, because somebody on the TV says this is very bad for the economy. Of who? Of the dark ones who control all this. Let's call it free trade. Now Trump, fuck you, really, it's laughable. Laughable. And he's the president, one more time. Donald Trump is your, United States people president. So say that he's lying. Try. I mean, publicly on the mainstream news. There's many others. Let's call it alternative fake media, because even these alternative media has been infiltrated through, again, very dark magic, which we'll talk about some other time. How this, let's call it organic movement, has been hijacked, like many other times. How Christianity as such has been hijacked. How a genuine Muslim religion, or the religion of movement, has been hijacked and turned into the completely immoral and warmongering movement or religion. Christianity was in Middle Ages, now it's a Muslim religion. It's the same attitude. It's just they put a different label on the top. So, just to confirm one more time, Le Pen is your new president for France. Second, EU is going bye-bye. Big time. So every of these, let's call it sovereign countries, they were joined to EU, you will be fully allowed to ask a reparations for your... You've been tricked to join a fascist entity, which is EU. And all the money that has been given to you, all the money that you've been given to the EU to be able to join, to be able to get Schengen funds, let's say funds, which is nothing else but a fake printed euro that had no value. But you had a value as an individual country to stay afloat outside of this before you joined. You own your lands. You owned all of your people. All of your people's strawman funds you owned. The government of, let's say, Croatia, the government of Slovenia. But now, 4.5 million Croatian strawmen was stolen by EU, fascist government. Simple mathematics. So please be courageous when this collapses. Ask these funds back. If anybody know in the detail, to join EU, you have to put a percentage of your GDP into the EU funds. And they promise you will be controlled by our legal department, which is very, very just. which is very, very moral in the quotes. I have to use this in the quotes because people will take me literally and say that I said that EU is moral. Not. It was never. It's just continuation of the Nazi Germany, the fascist. They at that time used the weapon of destruction was weapons, bombs, so on, threats. Now they used funds. They used a euro. Here, have 1,000 euros, millions, billions, and you only have to give us all your people to be under our jurisdiction, as Denise liked to say. So what do we do? Act. Support people that are really for your sovereignty, for freedom. Watch what Trump is doing. This is the only way. But he can do only for the American people. Europeans has to do it individually. Le Pen is a big kick in the EU butt. And will be so hard that it will just collapse. It will just collapse. EU, I mean. And no threats can damage any of these brave men and women. They are coming to become new leaders of this, a new humanity, sovereign humanity, individual humans who live in the sovereign states. So, these guys are showing me Trump, Le Pen, Brexit, Lafarge, Nigel Farage. These are the beings who actually showing me that the self-judgment really become fully blossoming in this planet of ours. So watch them and watch their actions. This is the most important. Watch your actions when you start judging others by not saying anything, to be politically correct or to be family, socially correct. This doesn't exist. The only correctness you can find is when you self-judge or judge yourself and find, is this action of yours or non-action of yours moral and integral. So live in peace and live integrally.